Hi, everybody. Welcome to Pet Loss Perspectives. And we are here with the most charming and darling Anna McClain.
Hi, everyone.
And Anna is the founder of Paws Pathway. She has a certification from the American Academy of Grief Counseling, and she devotes all of her effort and energy and time into try and help us navigate this vast land of grief, and especially as it pertains to the loss of our animal companions. So we are live today from Angel's Landing at Best Friends Animal Sanctuary. And I don't know if you remember, but poor Anna had some trouble with connectivity the last time, and she just drove in from Temecula, California. So how you like that? So here she is in the flesh. Welcome, Anna.
Thank you. It's so nice to be here. I'm so thankful to be back at Best Friends. I'm glad to be in person. And I wanted to share my baby, Alfie. Alfie, I started to share in December, but he was our 5-pound poodle, full grown. And he passed away nearly 10 years ago in April. And he helped inspire Paws Pathway, along with Best Friends, actually. So,
What is that? What is that? That is, you know, when you have such a love for your animal companions, and then everyone knows there's the one that just burrowed into your DNA that absolutely is your heart dog. And he was so inspiring, both living and now, because you have Paws Pathway.
Oh, thank you. He really was. Alfie was just so amazing, and he just taught me just about the love of joy, and he was my alarm clock. He even jumped on me a few times to wake me up or check on me, and he was just the most beautiful dog, and so happy and joyful. And I had so many beautiful pets in my life, but I just felt such a heartfelt bond that I shared with Alfie. And
I'm
even
sure
today,
everyone can relate to that one.
And Paws Pathway, definitely.
Oh,
And
yes.
Paws Pathway, it's really our life path of understanding pet loss and our path with our pets by our side after they pass away. So they're so fully with us in our hearts as we try to adjust to the devastation and pain and heartache of pet loss. There's nothing like it.
Well, there you hit it, the heart. And here we are, you know, kind of consider February Valentine's month, right? And Anna and I got talking about the heart and how the heart is so strong yet so fragile, and resilient yet tender. I mean, you can just, the heart just, it's an amazing part of our being that we put our heart on the line, we give our heart away, we bring new animal companions into our heart, and you realize the heart is expansive. Yeah?
Yeah, it really is. And we have such strong hearts. Patty even said, strong as an ox, you know, beautiful, strong heart. But when grief hits us and our beautiful pets, it's really as delicate as a snowflake. And it's so delicate and tender and fragile. And it could break in an instant, you know, even though it's already broken and you're adjusting. The things you face during the day, the feelings, the physical pain, and just missing your baby. It can be very delicate. So taking care of yourself is the most important thing you can do.
Absolutely. And you taught me to look up a new word, and it's Takotsubo cardiomyopathy, which actually can mimic the very real sensations of a heart attack, which is triggered by emotional stress. And I didn't know that was a real thing, but it's called broken heart syndrome.
Yes, broken heart syndrome is very real, and it's basically very similar symptoms to a heart attack. More than a panic attack, and you feel, you know, heavy heart palpitations, low blood pressure,
Sweaty palms.
fainting. Yeah, sweaty palms, and definitely always seek help with your doctor if you feel any of these. And even if it is this syndrome, which is very understandable, it can be after stress or any grief-related loss, of course. And they do treat with medication or different care, and so it is something that's treated. And
it can last like 2 weeks up to a couple of months, right?
Yeah, it can definitely last a very long time. And it's not necessarily a thing that would be taken care of quickly with medication, but it's very concerning. So I would definitely seek help and know that's a common syndrome that people can feel.
So yes, that's definitely, I think something just to think about, Takotsubo cardiomyopathy. All it does is illustrate for us the effects of such loss, that it could be just as concerning as that, and to always seek help. But let's look at the other side, right? Let's look at, Anna, the gifts. How do we take care of our precious hearts? Where do we find these gifts? Because grief, when we're going through it and we're learning how to live with the loss, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of gifts. So I want you to help us find the gifts.
Oh, of course, the gifts of grief, they can definitely be gifts that you don't expect, but more empathy for difficult situations with grief, more compassion. And you could be a very compassionate, kind person already, but when you go through this experience and this pain, you definitely understand and you can help people. And you understand quality of time. Quality of time is more important than quantity. You can have a lot of time with somebody or your pets, and you could be on your phone all the time or busy, and that's not quality time necessarily. So these are gifts sometimes we find along our path too. It's not ones we might realize right away, but these are gifts that we can find when meeting people, understanding maybe in a support group, and even with other special pets or animals that come into our lives, whether they're pets or other animals.
I tell you what, I'm hard pressed to find the gifts, but I think as we go forward, you were telling me there's a good question to ask. How's your heart today? How was it yesterday? How was it 5 years ago? And I'm going to ask you, it's 10 years. How's your heart today, Anna?
Well, my heart is at peace, but I do have days, and especially over the holiday recently, where I just dropped to my knees in grief and pain and, cried. And those days will happen, of course. Those days will, break your heart. But then there are days that you can sit and reflect and you can smile and realize, oh, I'm smiling about this story. I can share this story. And my heart is so thankful for every moment I have with Alfie and every moment I get to share with people, and help teach and help support. It's such an amazing journey, and I bring Alfie with me through all of it and all of our pets that we have at home. And our hearts, the perspective changes. We do have more peace in our heart, for more understanding and reflection, not necessarily asking, what if this happened? What if I did this? And I can admit I did do that. I do that still sometimes. What if I changed this about his health plan?
Right.
But we do have that peace and that love, and that will always be there. But it does take some understanding and a lot of reflection to get there too.
Well, and I think that's a great answer, and thank you. It's very thoughtful, and I think that one of the things we do have to always consider, and say this all the time, is to hold ourselves kindly through this process. Because we also know things are going to crop up that made us second guess ourselves, made us think, we did something horribly wrong, because we're in the swirl. I read this the other day. It was like your brain gets scrambled, right?
It does.
So then you're like
Yes.
darting all over the place.
Yeah, you feel so many emotions, more than just the 5 stages of grief. And with our pets, holding our pets, being with them is the safest place in the world. It's your own world, your love, and they teach you beautiful gifts of embracing the moment. Laugh. You could have the hardest day and you come home and they're there and they're doing their silly antics, they're smiling at you, and it's just the most beautiful moment, and that's all you remember about that day. And when that goes away, that they're not there physically, while they're there soulfully, it isn't the same, and it can really devastate you, and you feel your heart, your mind, your body, all of it is frazzled, and you can feel physical pain like a flu, or of course the broken heart syndrome. and then you can feel a wave of heavy emotions, and they're unexpected every day. You just don't always know what you're going to get. I even compare it to weather sometimes. You can have the most heavy winds pounding you with emotions, and then some days are foggy, and you just don't know what you're going to hit until you see, oh, that dog looks like my dog. Oh, that song. Oh, that
There's
toy.
his favorite toy.
Yeah,
that's
toy.
the one, the toy.
The toy still gets me, even though it's little Lammy, is one of Alfie's favorites, and his red heart. But
What is it about those lammies?
I know, all the goodies they get to hold.
Yeah, I find them all over the house.
We bought one that has a little butterfly the other day, and I bought like a brown reindeer one. And I'm like, I think we have like 7 lammies now.
I know someone with a huge lammy collection. I don't know if she's on right now, but she was our very own Wendy Kaplan, who works at Veterans.
Oh, I love
and
to
she
see
she had to buy a storage unit to catalog the lammies because she gets so many
amazing. They're really
for
cute.
Little Miss. So yeah, going back to one of the things they were talking about is that distance of time. I ran into one of my colleagues today, and I said I was really sorry for the loss of her horses. She lost 2 horses within 10 days.
That's
And
awful.
she's an incredible, horse mom, and she's just devastated. And she said, I'm so glad you waited to talk to me today. She said, because for 2 weeks, I couldn't handle people saying they were sorry, people wanting to hug me. She said, because I was just going to crack in half. And that's a real thing,
It is.
where you just you want to be around people, but you don't want to be around people. You don't want to
Yeah, I
go in hot. Yeah.
I avoided I'm almost sorry to say I avoided some people in our family and friends because I just wasn't ready to talk about Alfie, and he had passed away unexpectedly through a surgery, and I was there with him, and it was.
Oh, that's so traumatic.
It was. It wasn't euthanasia, but it was very traumatic, and I wasn't ready to talk to people either. And you don't always know what you're going to see, disenfranchised grief when you have family and friends
Right.
that
Might not get it.
that's just such a heavy weight and makes everything more overwhelming. And then you feel guilty because you might feel guilty already for different things related to pet loss, but you also feel guilty, like, why am I feeling this way? I'm sorry I'm feeling this way, but it's very normal. This physical pain and deep emotional grief is definitely normal.
Well, and comparisons are killers, right? You just really, I was told, you cried more for your cat than you did for Aunt Edna. It's like, Aunt Edna didn't live in my house, and I didn't take care of her every single day. I might have talked to her once a year. Not that I didn't love her, but to get into a space of comparisons doesn't do anyone justice.
No, comparisons, and especially because pet loss is so different, than anything. Our pets love us unconditionally. We have a special nurturing relationship where we take care of each other. We make their decisions for their health and diet, enrichment.
They're breathing in your face in the morning.
Yeah,
they're sharing your breath.
They wake you up, and those are the most beautiful moments. As wonderful as family is,
I don't want to breathe into my face.
That's true. And they're non-judgmental, no expectations.
Not like Aunt Edna. Sorry.
I'm sorry if anyone's named Edna too. Yeah, you're right. No one. It's very different. So that's why we wish pet loss was more understood too in our society, because it's a very deep, painful loss. No words could express how painful, just like no words can express our bond.
Well, that's a perfect point. And it's one of those things where, you don't want to say something because you're not sure what you're going to get. And through doing this work, I've become super sensitive to platitudes. And I know that our society really struggles with death. We do. We struggle with it. There's a lot of times people say, if I die, I'm like, okay, do you know something I don't know? But the platitudes, it's just because people don't know what to say and they become uncomfortable. And you get at least, those 2 words drive me straight up a wall.
Yes, at least is painful because it's just something that just breaks your heart more. And you get the idea that, okay, they mean well, they're saying this. And on the other side, when people say, oh, at least you have this, at least you have kids, at least you have more time now, or something painful like that. And even though you love the caretaking and the special senior moments and things we can do for our pets, on their side, they're thinking, at least you're okay, and at least I tried. I said something supportive, so now you can be okay. But they don't realize how painful those words are. They don't know the right words.
They don't. And I think we have to cut people some slack. You did. You said it perfectly because it's a touchy subject. Yeah. It's trying to help shepherd one another into a place of understanding how to relate to someone with a broken heart over the loss of their animal companion. And I think as much as I want to go, ooh, stop telling me he's in a better place, let's just like not talk about it at all. And then you pick, who can I really talk to? And also give that person some information. Like, I would love to go sit and just talk about Reggie, and I don't need you to do anything. So don't feel like you have to do anything, just be there with me. So it sets the stage, right?
Yeah, it's really nice when you have someone that can just sit with you, let you gently, cry or listen to music or go to the beach or anything you might want to do, go hiking. And when you have someone, and it's okay to admit too, if you don't know their pet or you maybe you don't know them very well, it could be a coworker. You could say, I'm so sorry for what you're going through. I know I never met your dog, but I'm here if you need anything, and I would love to learn more when you're ready. Like, can you share more? Or having kind words like that. Saying, I know exactly how you feel, even though we all understand the deep pain of grief. It is our own journey, our own Paws Pathway, our own experience, different bonds. So we do have a different path of grief. So we can't necessarily say, I know exactly how you feel, because it won't be identical. And it might not be the best thing, honestly, to say.
I was going to say, sometimes that sparks a little ire, but like I said, we have to work on this, all of us together, to figure out how we support one another. And I can't think of a more perfect name than Paws Pathway, because it is a pathway. I want us all to hunker now. We're going to hunker, and we're going to talk about some, oh my goodness, notions around self-care. I know we get sick of hearing self-care. Self-care, it means something different to everyone. Yeah. However, if we base it in self-compassion and figure out ways that we can make some steps along that road, and you're going to give us some action items to help incorporate in our daily lives that will help us honor our hearts and expand on that notion of self-care. How you like that?
Oh, I love it. That's great. Yes, self-care. I think self-care goes with support, and that's personal and professional support. Sometimes you need a supportive friend, supportive family member who respects your bond to help you, or professional counseling or support group to get you on the path of self-care. And along with self-care, you might think, oh, I love this activity, I love doing this. But there might be a different thing between self-care, focusing on taking care of ourselves, or self-care meaning vegging. Like, oh, I'll watch this show for 3 hours, but you aren't technically doing self-care, if that makes sense.
No, you're kind of, sometimes you need to escape a little bit, right?
Escaping is good at this time, yes.
Because I like binging on something like Bridgerton. It's like removes my brain from whatever's happening right then. And it's kind of a holiday, little brain holiday.
Yes, actually, that's a really good point. I think vegging or just focusing on noise, is actually one of my ideas for action steps. So when we all know the silence is loud. You could have the smallest dog, and it's the loudest noise possible when they're not there. It's just so empty. So I would say noise is key is one of my first ideas, meaning vegging and watching your favorite show, keeping the TV on all night, even if, or like on a timer, having a playlist of different emotions. Oh, these songs are good for focusing on our bond. These songs are good for when I'm angry. I was talking about was more down the line of, okay, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to think about what kind of things I can focus on, which is the re-energizing re-energizing part of Paws Pathway.
So you can, one of the things that I was cogitating over was creating a time for that. Like, I'm ready to break down right now, but you know what? I'm going to sit down Friday from 10 o'clock to 12. I'm going to light candles. I'm going to play that music, and I'm going to let it all rip. Like, I think there's something to be said for that as well. You know, there's in the moment stuff that connects you, it grounds you. The little things that we learned from our friend Jess Roper on just grounding yourself and connecting yourself back into your body and your breath.
Yes.
But then there's also times when you could say, okay, I'm going to set this time aside. Take that, reverse it, and really just let everything out, because it's like a bucket, right? Yeah. Drip, drip, drip. It starts filling, and you got to empty that bucket, right?
And some things will cause the bucket to pour over, and that is a beautiful idea. I love that. You know, setting aside time and having a remembrance ceremony, or just time to reflect and share stories, or just time to reflect by yourself. And think of your baby. And other times you might think, ideally, oh, grief, I'll do all my work, I'll do this plan, and then I'll grieve at night. And as ideal as that might be,
best laid plans.
Technically, yeah. It's actually, it doesn't work that way, because you can see, like, those unexpected days. You could hear a song or just think, oh my gosh, I can't do this. I'm so physically tired and ill. I don't know how to even go inside the office. And days like that are hard. So I love your idea of taking time with candles, reflecting, and just knowing our babies are with us.
That's beautiful. So say you are walking down the PetSmart aisle and boom, there you are. Favorite chew toy, favorite thing. Now you're ready to crumple down right there in public and have a full-on meltdown. What are some of the things you could do to kind of just ground yourself a bit? And I mean, you can also have the full-on meltdown. There's nothing wrong with that, but
yeah, I've been there.
Yeah.
Those moments are very painful. I remember freezing, just staring, even though it was lamb meat, to see, I froze and I stared at that lamb meat for 10 minutes, and I thought, I'm just going to buy it, and I bought it. But it was still really, really painful. I thought, how do I run away from here? And with these, I would say, there are two kinds of breaths you can do. One is like a very quick deep breath, or I'd say very quick deep breath, and think gentle words, love, peace. And that could be something just to kind of get you through leaving the store if you need to leave. And then there's the deep breaths, like holding for 4 breaths, or inhaling, I'm saying it wrong.
You're doing SEAL Team 6, right? Yes. The box breathe.
Yes,
the box breathe has gotten me out of so many situations. Yes.
The box breathe. And then gentle words with that. Since there are 4 breaths or longer, you could say, I miss you, my sweet love. And then, or just 4 words maybe. I miss you, sweetheart. How do I get through this? I'm using longer words. Oh, I miss you. Or just, I love you. And those gentle words to yourself, help me, please, even could be okay, because you're really just trying to get through that moment, because the toy is hard. And we did actually bury Alfie, and we buried him with 10 of his favorite toys. So I didn't have that toy.
Aww. And
that might be a moment that you might not have the toy physically. So it's okay if you want to buy that toy, or it's okay if you just need to leave. You know, it's a really painful moment. That's definitely one of those days.
Oh, yeah. And we have them all. And a lot of us, I would imagine most of us on this broadcast have more than one animal companion.
Yes.
So you have to relate to those guys, you know, and they can sense, they know that your heart is broken. They know that something in the environment has shifted. And I really believe in talking to them and telling them how I really feel right now and being very authentic with my animals, because I do believe they get it. I think it's less authentic for me to be whistling a happy song, but my energy and my body language is incongruent to how I
Yes.
feel.
No, that's beautiful. And it's true. They do get it. They understand and they grieve. You know, so it's definitely wonderful that you spend time talking with them. They're authentic and genuine, and they know us. And being able to monitor them also and seeing how are you doing through this? You know, seeing how are they doing physically? Do they have behavior changes? And ask yourself some questions. Oh, how are they a few days later? And then sit and gently talking to them, telling them what's going on. Sorry. And I would say, what's going on? You know, if they weren't present when your pet passed away, that can be very
It could be
hard.
confusing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
like
they
Sparky
can
left the
definitely
house
be
and
unsure.
never came
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
And that's hard. The nice thing is they have services for at-home euthanasia where you can have pets present with you, but it's not always common that you can do that.
Right.
It's not always a situation you can prepare for, and you may have your pet pass away very unexpectedly, like at the emergency room. So sitting down with your pets and gently holding them and telling them what's going on and just monitoring them, spending time with them. You might want to even change the routine or change maybe the walk path, or if they are used to that, then keep that path.
I love that idea. I always think about that, especially when one of my dogs passes, it's to take everybody on a big long walk and
Oh,
yeah,
I
and
love
just
that
have
idea.
that discussion. And wow, look at us. We are.
Oh, it's fast. Yeah.
I told you it goes fast. Tell us now, what's up next for Paws Pathway?
Well, today I'm very excited. I get to help teach people in Kanab about a special presentation of walking a path of pet loss and sharing Alfie's story. And then we do have complimentary virtual support groups.
Tell us about that. That's incredible.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Every few months, I always try to do support groups one about quality of life and anticipatory grief, and one about understanding pet loss. I'd like to do this monthly in the future, but I am also having one for animal professionals, and I call this anyone involved in the field: veterinary, support group, volunteers, rescue, groomers, trainers, anyone is welcome to talk about compassion fatigue, questions about burnout, grief, anything. So I'm hoping to start that even monthly in the future.
And where can people find you?
They can email me. My email is pawspathway, P-A-W-S, pathway @gmail.com, and my website is pawspathway.com. And you just email me for the link, and it's a Google Meets link, and there's no rush to come right at 6. It would be 6 to 8 Pacific Standard Time. And there's no rush. You can come anytime. You can turn off your camera. You don't have to be, forced to talk. You can just do what's in your heart.
Excellent. That's so lovely. And I just want to thank you so much.
Oh, thank
Anna.
you. It was a pleasure. It was so wonderful.
Wow. I mean, you just have so much really good information. And I can't wait to see how your path unfolds. And I want to thank Alfie.
Oh,
Because
thank you.
it's because of Alfie you are here to help others. And what a fabulous thing you do.
Oh, thank you. It's really an honor. This is where my heart is. And if you look at my logo, Alfie's on the logo actually at the front of the P, and you'll see a little brown dog and our cat Kenya too.
How can a little 5-pound brown dog just jumped in and changed the course of your life? How
know.
inspiring. Well, thank you all so much for joining
you,
us.
everybody. It was
And
amazing.
we will be back next month, the first Thursday of March, and we're going to be doing some somatic work. So stay tuned.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, all our fabulous fellow animal lovers. Mwah.